Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you the next spoiler coverage for Echoes of the Lost World. Today we get to see a new green-black ruler. This is Yggdrasil, Malefic Verdant tree, and some of its support, of course. So Yggdrasil is back. Very interesting that Lapis has pulled Yggdrasil to this world to try to corrupt it. So it is a ethereal tree, energize for green, just green, mind you. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you, the player. For each 100 damage prevented this way, you remove a card from the top of your deck from the game. Also says players cannot gain life. So keep in mind that with this, people have been saying, oh, I'll just make a 200 card deck and never lose. The CR will be updated. This has been confirmed by the company. The CR is going to be updated when this set releases so that you have a maximum deck size of 60 cards. So it's 40 to 60 card maximum. And then for 1 green, 1 black, and tapping your ruler, you can put a card named Machina, King of the Accursed Machines, Rezard, King of the Damned, Melgus, King of the Black Flame, or Arla, Demonic Flying Ace, from your removed area into your field. So kind of an instant speed summon of something that's been removed. So no J-Ruler side, of course, just like Yggdrasil had before, but very, very different style than the original one. So let's look at these 4 guys. So we have Arla, the Demonic Ace, 3-drop, 7/8, Will of Despair with flying, and he can pay 200 life to deal 200 damage to target attacking or blocking Resonator. So you pay life to ping stuff. Very interesting. Definitely need to. Yeah, I'm always kind of wary about paying life, especially when the damage for it is so small. But it might, he might get some stuff that's pretty good to kind of support him in that. Next up, we have 7 Kings Melgus of the King of the Black Flame, 3-drop, 7/7. It's got swiftness. And he can pay 300 life to give himself an additional 100 attack and first strike until the end of the turn. So it's pretty interesting, but I think a pretty heavy cost for just 100 bonus attack. When his stat line, you probably, to make it relevant, have to pay twice. So not sure if paying 600 life is worth it. Then we have Rezard, King of the Damned, so 2-drop, 5/5, pay 200 life, remove target card in a graveyard from the game, so that's kind of cool, being able to just nope, RFG cards at instant speed, and he gains plus 100 for every Resonator in your removed area, so he can potentially become super huge, especially if you drop him later in the game. You've got 12 Resonators in the graveyard, you use Yggdrasil to bring Rezard back, you've got 11, so suddenly for 2 will, you just brought in a 16/16 at instant speed, so pretty cool there. I think he's probably the best one so far. And then we have Machina, the King of the Accursed Machines, 3-drop, 7/8, not a Will of Despair, and you can pay 300 life to produce Will. Play this ability only once per turn. Now this is pretty good. You can bring him in for 2 and then pay 1. Pay 300 life to start kind of producing Will to make your deck a little bit more consistent, or kind of do a follow-up play. Definitely interested in that. And then he says, cards named Mariabella the True Shot you control cannot be destroyed. So we need to know what Mariabella the True Shot does, but we don't know that yet. So we'll have to see. But if you can bring this guy back for instant speed protection of her, with Yggdrasil, that might be potentially really good. Next up, we have Leaf of the Malefic Tree. So this card gets to, it's a 1 green addition, bestows for a green, and Resonator gains pay 200 life, give itself +1/+1. Again, there's so much paying life here that I want to see what else Yggdrasil has to maybe, because you can't gain life when you have Yggdrasil, right? So I gotta imagine, and even resetting life with Lumia is considered gaining, so this is kind of risky. You're just permanently putting yourself at this low state, which makes sense because you're getting, damage to you as sending your cards to the RFG, but if you pay too much life, then you're just in trouble anyway, so definitely interested to see what happens there. And then we have Soul Debt. It is a 1 green, 1 colorless quick cast. It says, put target Resonator that was put into a field this turn on the bottom of its owner's deck. So this is pretty nice, you know, especially against decks like Turbo Gwyber or decks that don't have a lot of enter effects. You know, they bring in a big body and then you just put it back to the bottom of the deck. It's not as good as, say, like a hard removal spell or something that stops it, like canceling, because if it's an enter effect, they're still going to get it. But it's a nice little extra follow-up there. And again, against vanillas like Gwyber, it's like, oh, you invested in a Gwyber, cool, put that back at the bottom of your deck, rather than bouncing it back to your hand with like an Apollo or something. So very cool. Looking forward to seeing what else comes out of it, especially what comes out of Yggdrasil to maybe make up for all this life paying that he's going to be doing, or better life pay effects, I guess. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.